right, so I want you to look at these 6 questions, and I want you to pick the one that you feel the most grab about. Like, ooh, that one is really challenging for me, or that one is really something I want to work on. So when you have your one, will you raise your hand so we know? Again, don't overthink, just pick the one that and probably any of these would be fine. Great. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go into an exercise, and Marissa's going to put you in breakout rooms of 3, about 3. There may be a group of 2. I'm going to show you the prompt. And what I want you to do when you get in your breakout room is I want one person to volunteer to be first to share. And we're going to do this in a certain way where you're each going to get your own time to speak. And I want the other 2 people in the room to just hold space for you, to look at you with goodwill and try and keep your face just open and accepting, like we would all like people to be when they listen to us. And this is a time for you, if you are speaking and answering the prompt, to go inside and to reflect on the prompts that I haven't told you yet. You don't need to have this all figured out before you start talking. Just start talking, because you're going to, oftentimes we just hear information and we move on to the next thing. And we never take time to actually digest, what am I getting from this? What are the implications for me? How am I going to use this and apply this? So this is another way that by just keeping busy, we actually are less threatening to our systems that actually don't want you to grow and change. And we'll go into that in a little bit. But so I'm going to show you the prompt for your group. One person's going to volunteer to go first, and we're going to put the timing in the chat, and you'll get about 2 minutes each, minute and a half. And again, you respond, just trust whatever's going to come out is what's needed. So we'll show you now the prompt for your group. So here's the questions that you are going to be responding to. When you picked your one, say it's, do you feel insufficiently equipped to handle conflict with colleagues, friends, or family? So if that's your question that you're going to be working on, you're going to be talking to your buddies. What is your vision of being satisfied? So vision is really important, because if you don't have a vision, you're just going to default to I don't know how to say this. I feel awkward and scared. So this vision is not to be underestimated. If you have a vision of who are you as someone who handles conflict, who's genuine, who seeks to connect, who assumes goodwill, whatever these words are for you, what's your vision of that? And then what would the impact be on you or your organization if you were someone who chose to approach conflict rather than avoid it? And you may have skills that you need to develop more to be able to do that with a little more grace, but that's not what this is about. This is about just bring what you have and trust that, and you'll learn from that. And then you'll decide, okay, next time I want to be more focused on this or that. This is all about taking risks to discover more of yourself and expand the possibilities for yourself. Okay? Okay. All right, everybody. Hello. We want to hear from you. We would love to hear from you. And remember, another leadership skill is taking a risk. That's how you learn and grow and develop yourself. So who would like to share what you got from that? What was that like? What did you learn? What did you realize?
Well, Jacki, this is Margaret. I'll go.
Great. Thanks, Margaret.
Yeah. So the concept that applied to me was around conflict, particularly conflict with friends and family. And I was thinking about a specific example with a friend where I held back. And I think the vision for me is that I've known this person since we were 12, is that by me speaking up about that situation and how I felt hurt, it would create more intimacy for for us. And, I mean, I've known her for so long that this would be a move for me, stepping into like another aspect, because I'm usually pretty passive. And so, and I think the impact is that, I think it, there's not a huge downside. We've been friends since 12, so I don't think we're gonna lose,
Huh?
I think we got it. So, the impact I think would only be positive, and seeing, where else it would show up in my life.
That's so great. And so what Margaret's vision is what we espouse for anybody who's in any relationship, any team, is to have clear and current relationships. That requires some skills, but too often we see teams where people are holding back. They have upset or hurt or they're angry and they just try and operate on top of it. And there's so much stuff that holds teams back from, it's all barriers to mission and also to people developing themselves and growing. Like, no one's going to be perfect at this, but Margaret's vision of like, I'm going to be honest with my friend and share my hurt. Like, do you see where her friend would hopefully receive her, but at least Margaret has taken the risk to tell the truth. And without that, she's sort of dancing around stuff and it hurts a friendship. So way to go, Margaret. Look forward to hearing how that goes.
Thank you.
Accountability. Yes, Margaret has said it in public. Okay,
Yes.
great. Thank you. Thanks for going first to get bonus points. All right, who else? We hear from maybe like one other person because we still have more we want to do.
I'll go.
Great, thanks, Anne.
Well, mine was that I feel angry and hurt a lot. I'm on a townhome board. And I think what helped me is the question, what would it take for me to be satisfied? And so what I usually do is kind of seethe, and I do express the anger in the meeting, which of course they're all defensive. They can't listen to me. And so I was with Michelle, and we just talked about taking the emotion out. I can share that with somebody else, but not with them. But to be satisfied, if I can make, like, I'm leaving now, I'm quitting, but I want to just share calmly kind of what my vision for our board is and what is on the table that needs to be done. And if I can get that out calmly and feel that they heard me and it gets in the minutes, I'll be satisfied. So I don't have to get the whole stuff done. It's not going to happen. But if I feel heard, that'll be great.
Great. So thanks for sharing that, Anne. And your expression of like, I want to say what I have to say, they will do whatever they need to do, but your satisfaction comes from your saying the truth. And so I applaud you. And again, you said it here, accountability. I will check on you. Okay, so we're going to go into this next piece of curriculum. So you are all mission drivers in whatever way, whatever organizations you lead, whatever is on your heart that in your community that you're working toward, in your family, you are mission drivers. I want you to think about that because mission is often what helps us take the risk because we believe in that. It's a sense of purpose and meaning in our lives. And when I'm working with teams, often I'll say, well, what's going to move the mission forward? Is it holding back? Probably not. It's more likely that you're speaking whatever it is that your perspective is. And I often see this with women and women of color that you hold back and you dismiss yourself. And to me, there's a cost, not only to yourself, because you don't get to learn and grow, but also to your organization, which would be served, I'm sure, by your sharing your perspective. So in the context of mission drivers orient to the principle of constructive dissatisfaction. So that means just what Anne and Margaret were saying. If there's something you're not satisfied about, use that to get satisfied and it will serve your organization, your family, your community. Too many people are dissatisfied and they just give up. So I'm encouraging you to be always, mission drivers are always constructively dissatisfied. Always things that we said in that question could be working better. systems that need addressing. And you'll grow from taking those on, not that you have to do it yourself, but by saying, we need to handle this. We need to fix this. This can work better. Mission drivers rarely sit back and coast. They're always looking for ways that they can improve situations or teams or families or communities. They look for ways to contribute. They're willing to take risks and ruffle feathers and say what's so in service of their mission. So Anne really demonstrated that. She has a bigger vision for this board and how they could work better. And as we say, mission drivers get satisfied. So does anyone relate to this, feel inspired, I'm hoping, by whatever your mission is? Thank you. Okay, so most people are not born with the skills to be able to do all of this. Let's just acknowledge that this is a lifelong work. This is not, you've got it handled and now you're done and you can coast. But what I'm sharing with you in this whole seminar is that you always have opportunities to develop yourself. So by taking on anything that you're not satisfied about, you will develop, because you'll need to learn skills. You'll be working on different skills. Your rapport with your colleagues, or who else feels this way, and I'm going to build a relationship with them so that we are more effective as a team, whatever that is. And what we're going to go into now is some curriculum around what holds us back. So Margaret was sharing in a way that, like, she, for whatever reason, even though she's known her friend since she was 12, there's something that holds her back from saying, hey, I felt hurt when you said da da da. So we're going to go into now what we call limiting beliefs. And I'm going to share these. Marissa's going to share these with you. So I want you to read these and see what you relate to. I'm not enough. Or I'm too much. I'm not good enough. I'm not lovable. I'm not worthy. I'm not okay. I'm alone and on my own. Or I have to please others. Or I don't deserve to have what I need. Or something's wrong with me. Or I'm an outsider, I don't belong. So can you feel when you're hearing these, like, I feel that. And what I want to say is that we all have these. We form them really early on in our whatever environment we grew up in. You know, nobody's caregivers, our parents are perfect. And so we grow up with these key limiting beliefs. We all have different ones of these. And the problem is that they're driving us, they're limiting us. They're why you don't speak up in a meeting, because you think that if you say something that doesn't conform to what everybody says, you're going to get thrown out, because what you say doesn't matter. So can you see that the implications of this for all of us on our lives? And what's important is to know, well, what your kind of go-to ones are. So say if it's something's wrong with me and you're in a meeting, if you know that that's your default, then you choose an empowering belief because of the vision that you create for yourself, and that you want to use your work and your job to develop yourself and say, I'm going to orient to, I have what I need. I fit in. I am capable, or I belong. So I want you to now look at these limiting beliefs and pick the one that just really, really hurts your heart. And that's probably the one that's the most prevalent for you. I want you to pick one, and you can put it in the chat. This is just for us. I think we all relate to this. We all deal with this. So if you want to put it in the chat, you don't have to, but we're going to do some work with these in the next section. So I want you to have one that you're going to pick. And the problem with these, again, is we think that they're true. We think that they're real. Thanks, Susan and Tiffany, Michelle. They're not real. but this is where critical thinking is really important. If you were to talk to people that you work with or people in your family, they would probably say, no way, you're very capable. But we drag these things around, like that ball and chain is really relevant. So I want you to know, what is your sort of go-to default that limits you? And I want you to now put in the chat, what is your empowering belief? So for instance, Nancy, if it's not good enough, it's like, I am plenty good enough, more than good enough, or whatever your words are, because I want them to mean something to you. Yeah, great, Margaret, I matter. Love it, Delia. I'm very good at what I do. I believe that. I contribute in every situation. These are so awesome. I'm a team builder. Crystal, love these. So for sure, put your empowering belief. Great, Susan. I care and I'm curious. I love that. That would take you far on a team, that people feel that from you. These are great. Michelle, I love it. These are awesome. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go back into breakout groups. And I think we should just mix it up and pick different groups, because I want you all to have more time to get to know each other. And I'm going to give you, love that, Michelle Weber. Beautiful, Patty. These are so great. Okay, so we're gonna now give you another prompt. This is the crux of it with these things, these limiting beliefs and empowering beliefs. Developing yourself involves being aware of your limiting beliefs, as we said, and I love this phrase, going off script to discover more of yourself. So you will speak up in a meeting, even though that voice says, oh no, you shouldn't speak up. What if they don't like what you have to say? What if you're not perfect? You are choosing, if you choose to develop yourself, because we all have that choice moment to moment, to speak up, to go off script. Okay, let's go to the next slide. You have the capacity to continually develop yourself toward a self you don't know yet. That is what's so awesome about this work. I believe you, all of us, I don't even know actually who I am becoming, but I'm in the game and adventure of choosing to keep taking risks to discover more of who I'm becoming. Isn't that beautiful? And that's why we say you become more alive. Thanks for the claps, Anne. So now, I want you to take the limiting belief and empowering belief, and when you get in your group, so you're going to identify what is any situation you are frustrated about or you are not satisfied about. And say it really brief. Don't spend a lot of time going into a story, just so they know enough. It's really for you. And then, what is your limiting belief that you will choose to challenge so that you create a different outcome and get satisfied? That is what we are about. So, is everyone clear? What's the situation and how are you going to really use your empowering belief? So I have a board meeting, and when I go into it, I'm going to da-da-da-da, whatever that is. So we're going to give you like a minute and a half on this, because then we want to come back together and hear from people and then close out. Hi, everybody. We just have time for maybe one person to share what that was like, or what they learned, or what they decided. Don't make me call on people, but I will. Monica, can I call on you?
Sure, I was actually combining all three of ours into one. That
Okay.
we have one who's too much because she's too
Oh.
thorough, as opposed to those who want a snap decision. So we discussed being able to give information to make a more informed decision. One who's not feeling heard because she can say something, but in a room of other people, and it overwhelmingly is men, that someone will give the same idea that she had previously given. So we talked about, well, how wonderful that you have echoed what I just said. So thank you for for seconding that.
That is awesome. I might use that.
Right.
And let's see. Oh my gosh, this is terrible, Susan and Deborah. I remember yours so easily. Now I don't even remember exactly what I said now. Oh, I was stealing that. I love that. So essentially, we were just talking about feeling free to step into our own light and not second guess ourselves, because that was basically the theme of mine.
So great. So that goes back to trust your inner tuning fork. Trust yourself. Awesome. Love that. Thank you, Monica. Okay, so we're just about closed out, but I want to share a couple blogs if people want to learn more. I have some resources here at the end. Oh, this is an awesome James Baldwin quote. Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. Love that. Okay, so here's some blogs, and then we also have a QR code for other trainings that we do around organizational culture and how to develop clear and current relationships with colleagues, or work on how we get through the drama triangle in our teams and boards. So you can feel free to scan that. And then on the next is an important word. I am offering, if people want to, I will do like a 30-minute complimentary executive coaching session with my gratitude to the next group for hosting me, and because you're all here and you want to develop yourself. I am convinced. So you can scan that, and I think it goes to a like a Google form. You can put your information in it. And I look forward to that. And thank you all so much. And I hope that if you leave with one thing, it would be use whatever opportunity, challenge you have to develop yourself. Don't just repeat the self that you always are very familiar with. Your system wants you to stay the same, but you have the capacity to develop yourself way beyond any self that you know. And how beautiful is that? Because you all have missions that are really important. And it is becoming more alive. So thank you all.
Thank you, Jackie. I just wanted to say thanks to all of you who joined. I know it was a beautiful day and that it turned rainy, so I thank you for joining us tonight on this kind of crazy day. And thank you, Jackie. It's so generous of you to offer the 30-minute sessions, which is such a great thing for us to take advantage of. Again, if you want to learn more about Next Group, I put our website in the chat, nextgroupus.com. And we have another great in-person event that's coming up on May 28th in conjunction with Samantha Owens from Edward Jones. And it's actually at Willis Tower at the Metropolitan Club, and space is limited. So if you are local, if you're in Chicago and you'd like to join us, we'd love to connect with you. And take a look at our events page. I'll go ahead and put it in the chat for all of our other upcoming events. So thank you again. Thank you all for joining.